In the year 1959, a deadly disease called smallpox still roamed many parts of the world, bringing fear and death wherever it spread. Smallpox was an ancient sickness, one that had taken the lives of kings and commoners alike. It left its victims with high fever, painful sores, and deep scars. Many who survived were left blind. But the world had finally decided to fight back, and nowhere was this battle more urgent than in Africa. One of the brave doctors leading the fight was Dr. James Okoye, a Nigerian physician who had seen too many lives lost to smallpox. James had grown up in a small village where smallpox had once killed his younger brother, and he had sworn that no other child should suffer the same fate. He joined the World Health Organization, WHO, and became part of a grand mission to wipe out smallpox forever. In the early 1960s, the WHO began sending vaccines across Africa. At first, the challenge seemed impossible. Many villages were deep in the forests, across deserts, and high in the mountains. Some people had never even heard of smallpox, while others believed it was a curse sent by angry spirits. James and his team had to work not just as doctors, but as teachers and friends. One of his closest allies was Amina, a nurse from Kenya. She was strong and fearless, able to travel for days on foot to reach villages untouched by modern medicine. She spoke many local languages, which helped convince the elders to accept the vaccine. Together, James and Amina worked day and night, traveling from town to town, giving the life-saving vaccine to children, mothers, and fathers. But the mission was not easy. In many places, people were afraid of the needles. Some thought the vaccine would make them sick or was a trick by foreigners. In one village in Sudan, James and his team were nearly chased away by angry men with spears. It was only when an old chief, who had lost his own daughter to smallpox, stepped forward and took the vaccine first that others followed. In another village in the Congo, a terrible outbreak threatened to spread to nearby towns. Hundreds were already sick. James and Amina worked without rest, vaccinating those who were healthy and treating the sick as best as they could. Many times, they ran out of medicine and had to wait for supplies to arrive by plane or boat. Sometimes they feared they were too late. Years passed, and the battle continued. By the 1970s, the number of smallpox cases in Africa had dropped. More and more people trusted the vaccine, and entire villages were protected. The WHO, along with local health workers, used a new strategy called ring vaccination. Instead of vaccinating everyone in a country, they vaccinated only those around an infected person, stopping the disease from spreading further. The last major outbreak in Africa happened in Somalia in 1977. It was there that James and Amina met a young boy named Ali, who had the last known case of smallpox. The boy was isolated and cared for, and the final vaccinations were given. In 1980, the WHO officially declared that smallpox had been eradicated from the world. It was the first disease to be completely wiped out by human effort. James and Amina, along with thousands of health workers, had won the fight. Though James and Amina grew old, their work was never forgotten. New diseases would come, but their victory over smallpox proved that humanity could fight back against even the deadliest sicknesses. Across Africa, generations of children grew up free from the fear of smallpox, thanks to the courage of those who had fought to end it. And so, the story of the last battle against smallpox became a legend, a tale of bravery, determination, and the power of science to save lives.